Hello guys, welcome back to another book review here on Beyond the Realms, and today I am reviewing a book that I got from NetGalley. Once again, this is Alfred Hitchcock, The Man Who Knew Too Much from Michael Wood. Now, in my opinion, Alfred Hitchcock is the greatest movie director of all time, the single greatest one. And the reason why, just looking at his body of work alone, it speaks for itself. It spans a half of a century, and even his so-called weaker films are oftentimes stronger than, some other directors' top works. I've never read a book about Hitchcock before, so I jumped at the chance to pick this up. I requested it, I got it, I breezed through it in a day. And the reason why is because it's only 146 pages. So at that length, I did not expect this to be a thorough examination of Hitchcock's vast catalog. But the thing with this book is it skimmed over so many of his movies, or just outright skipped them, that the book just really felt unfinished. It didn't feel like a full examination of his work. It felt like a first draft or a first take of a much larger book that the author wanted to write. The majority of the first half of the book deals with Hitchcock's during World War II and how World War II came over into Hitchcock's work. It talks about Lifeboat, Saboteur, Lifeboat, or Blackmail, rather, among a lot of his other works, but Shadow of a Doubt is the one that it talks about the most. During the second half of the book, it talks about his obsession with blondes, and mainly actresses Grace Kelly and Tippi Hedren. His struggles with the changing Hollywood system and new actors coming in that he didn't know and had a hard time getting to know and work with, and also it talks about the films themselves. But as with the first half, everything is so briefly discussed that it's really hard to make an impact with the reader, I felt. And not only that, but oftentimes the examinations of the film are primarily a recap of what you've already seen on the screen. If you're reading this book, you've probably seen Hitchcock's films. You don't need to be told, scene for scene what's going on in the movie. You'd already know that. And that's what he does a lot of times. Like a case in point is Vertigo. The author spends page after page after page telling you what's on the screen, and there are times where he gets into a little bit of essay form, and he's explaining the meanings and the themes of what's going on, but it's so little of a time that it's just like, come on, man, I don't need to know what happened in Vertigo. I've already seen it. That's one of the big flaws with this book. But the biggest flaw overall is the length of the film. It felt way too short to try to cram in an entire body of work of the greatest director of all time into 146 pages. It would have been better suited if the author would have just picked out maybe five of his favorite Hitchcock films and discussed them, rather than try to talk about 50 some odd films that Hitchcock did, and oftentimes, just like I said, skipping over a lot of them. So this probably isn't the best book to read on Alfred Hitchcock. Now, if you just want a quick afternoon read on Hitchcock, maybe so, but if you're looking for a good examination, good essays on his film, this is probably not the best route to go. Now, I know there is a biography on him out there. It's like 900 some pages long. I've wanted to read it for a long time. This book actually just made me want to read it even more, because I wanted to know more about this stuff, more about what was going on. So, guys, I'm going to give this book a 2 out of 5. The official release date for this, I believe, is March 25th. Yes, the official release date is March 25th from New Harvest Books. You'll be able to pick this up at the end of the month. And I think it's going to be cheap on Amazon Kindle, and it's also going to be available on Amazon Unlimited. So if you have that, you'll be able to read it for free on there. So guys, that is Alfred Hitchcock, The Man Who Knew Too Much by Michael Wood. Look for it later this month. Thanks for watching, guys. Have a good one. Later.